Constructing your life is about much more than just building a bank account. Each week, join real estate entrepreneur and mindset coach Austin Linney as he interviews guests who are constructing their dream lives and impacting the world around them on a daily basis. If you're an entrepreneur or wanting to start a business, or you just want to hear motivating stories of how others have overcome the odds, you are in the right place. And now for your host, Austin Linney.
Good afternoon, guys. This is Austin Linney here with your Wednesday Rant. So excited to be here again today with you. And the topic I'm going to talk about today is identity. Identity is a real problem that we have, especially with when we lose our jobs or lose our relationships with somebody that we attached ourselves to, or a job that we attached ourselves to, or a feeling or an emotion. And we as a society have wrapped up our identities in our job, or we've wrapped up our identities in a person that we're with. And that is a recipe for disaster, because you've made your entire life about the only way you feel good is that is going good. And that's not the case. And if that person breaks up with you or they cheat on you or whatever, then you have lost a part of yourself in that relationship, because you allowed your identity to be wrapped up in them instead of being present in who you are and loving who you are. And the way that you do this is that your identity should be wrapped up in who you are as a person, meaning how you show up every day. Do you help people? What are your core values about? And by doing that, you've removed your attachment to the job, to the relationship, to the amount of money that you make, to what happens to you. And you can then operate from a life of intention. And you no longer go with the ebbs and flows of your job, which is always going to change, or it's going to remove itself, or you're going to start a new job, or so on and so on. And, you know, a lot of the identity stuff is a people pleaser thing, right? And I'm just going to go along with the flow because that's what I should do. And then I am a chameleon, so I operate in who my boyfriend is or who my husband is. He likes this, well, then I like this. Would you really like that? You know, these are the questions that we have to ask ourselves. And we would rather just get along than just be who we are. And that is saying that you're not comfortable in what you believe in and what you want. And that's not the way to live, because then when that is removed from your life, the attachment part, that big space is created and it's gone. And that's what happens with the job when people can't go into work, or they're having to work from home. So much a part of who they are and who they were is going to work and getting that acknowledgement, or dressing up, and all those things. And all those things don't matter. But we've become a society of, this is what I do. I'm a computer programmer. I'm a real estate investor. Like, all these things that we do to make money are vehicles to get us where we want to go. There's no attachment. You have to remove attachment from it, because you're only going to set yourself up for failure. And what I'm trying to get across to you is that your identity is who you are as a person. Like, I love it when you see kids, right? Young kids, and there's no context, there's no nothing, and they're just happy. And we as adults, I think, need to get back to being a little more happy. You know, we create this world where there's so much pressure to get where? To get where? Nobody's having fun anymore. Everybody's so damn serious. It's exhausting. Well, I got to learn this. I got to do this. I got to take this class. I got to work this thing. When do you ever get the time to not do those things? When do you ever get the time to go outside? When do you get the time to take time for yourself? We have become a society of serious ass, boring ass people. And nobody has fun anymore. Because our identity is our job. Our identity is what we look like to other people. If you're fucking goofy, then be goofy. If you're a little fucking crazy and you like to have some fun, you like to cut a rug, man. Not everything needs to be so tooth and nail and pulling at everything. We have a tendency to force everything, to push and just force and grind shit. And I am so guilty of it. My whole 20s. No, this is what it should be look like. This is what I should look like. This is what that should look like. Because the identity of who I was only was the merit on what I did at work. And when I had a bad night, I had a bad day. It doesn't matter. It's just part of a couple hours of a day. But we have made this decision that we are going to wrap everything that we do up in this moment, when there are little moments that build up to bigger moments. And the identity of who you are is rooted in who you are when nobody's looking. It's a very important part. I will not associate myself or be friends or be around any human being or do business that treat waiters, bussers, valets like shit. I can't do it. How you treat people when nobody is looking says more about you than anything in the world. I don't give a shit if you've got $100 million. Go F yourself. Get away from me. Because if you are going to treat those people that way, I can only imagine how you treat other people that way. It's not worth it, guys. It's not worth it to do business to get to some arbitrary number, because the identity of who you are is wrapped up in some bullshit goal. Have a little fun. Make it a little funner, because the identity of who you truly sit with and who you sit with is who you are every day when you wake up in the morning. When there's no pressure to be somewhere, when then there's no this and no that. And spend the time with the loved ones that you love, and spend the time outside and do the things that truly make you happy, that fill you up. And the rest of the shit will take care of itself. But when you jump on the train that I call the hamster wheel, and you get wrapped up into who you are, and the identity of how you feel about yourself is how your performance is in your JOB or your investing portfolio, or how you look to other people, you will fail. You will wear yourself out, you will hit a wall, and you cannot pour yourself to anybody else, because your identity is wrapped up in the performance of somebody else's decision. You get what I'm saying? You can't control what your boss does. You can't control what the economy does. You can't control what the government does. So remove your identity from that, and you will no longer flow with other people's decisions. You will only live in the identity of what you're doing. And you can't control those things. So by removing yourself from the identity of decisions that your boss has made, when he could be going through a divorce, he could be having a bad day, is not going to affect you, because you're rooted in what you know and what you are as a person. And you don't allow external forces to dictate the way that you feel, because your identity is wrapped up in who you are, and you know that to your core, deep inside. So I hope this helped y'all. Share it with your friends. Thank y'all so much for listening. Rate us and review us, guys. We'll see you next time.
Thank you for listening to Construct Your Life with Austin Linney. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to rate, review, subscribe, and pay it forward by sharing with a friend. Most importantly, take this opportunity to start constructing your life by taking immediate action on what you learned. For show notes, resources, and more information on one-on-one coaching with Austin, visit constructyourlifepodcast.com.